Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the biggest stars and also some of my favourite people. And when the Piano Guy's brand new album landed through my doorstep the other day, I couldn't wait to put it on. It's different. It's had over 160 million views on YouTube. And the Piano Guy from the Piano Guys joins us now. John Schmidt, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What a great idea this is. Basically, you take really cool tunes, whether they're new or old, you put them together and create something totally unique. Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I think really sets us apart in the Piano Guys, strangely enough, is our cellist. And we have an awkward name, the Piano Guys, because it started off as a piano store and the name of the store was the Piano Guys. And the owner wanted to, he was a marketing genius, and he wanted to show his pianos in all of these crazy places. And he had me come in as a piano artist to film these videos. But when we brought Steve into the picture, who's our cellist, I think that's when things really got cool, because he uses an electric cello with loop pedals and effects boxes, and he even plays with a kick drum. And it's a texture that's different than anything anyone's ever seen before. And when he gets done with the song, he's put down 80 cello tracks with his cellos, and it's a one-man symphony with a really unique sound.
It's a massive sound that you've created, and I imagine live that's really the place to hear it, because your stuff, as I said earlier, it's got sort of that anthemic feel about it, hasn't it?
Yes, and it's something that cannot be duplicated by any other cellist. You know, if we got 50 cellists to come and give them all an electric cello and an effects box and a kick drum and a loop pedal, number one, I don't know if any cellist in the world would be able to pull it off like Steve. He's really created textures, invented new textures, new ways of playing.
How did you get to the point where you'd had these 155 million people clicking on your songs to listen to them? I mean, it's an amazing achievement, isn't it?
We really feel like we had a lot of components and elements come together just at the perfect time in history. One thing that was in place was I had a solo career behind me, under my belt, for about 20 years with a fan base that we could go to help launch things. And then we had a video component with Paul Anderson, who also owned a piano store full of pianos with a passion to get pianos in the weirdest places, the most unexpected places. We owned our own studio. We didn't have to worry about that. And so all of these components worked together in the early days of YouTube, so we could hit that time in history. We were poised with everything in place. So we feel like it was very, very fortunate.
It's magnificent, isn't it, that now you don't really need a record album. You can just be an international star through the internet.
Really, and that's how we really felt about it, because people would hear our stuff on YouTube, and it acted just like radio play did in the old days. And when people hear something they like on the radio, they go and look for the album. They go to iTunes, and iTunes really makes it available to the world. But so when Sony Records approached us, and when a top industry manager approached us about signing with the record label, we honestly told them we're not interested. So then what happened is they kept coming to us with a deal that was so artist biased that we just couldn't turn it down. And now that has become an amazing win-win situation, and another part of the component, because now they're really backing us with some great touring, and also record industry things. So we feel like we have that now too, but we really could have done it, both ways, I think.
How's the piano doing? I'm a guy that from 4 years old has had the piano lessons and love to do it. It's just my thing that helps me relax and have fun. Are kids playing the piano now? Are there still people having lessons, or is it something in the past?
You know what is cool? We get a lot of feedback and comments left on these videos from kids saying, I was going to quit I was going to give up or whatever, and I saw your video, and it just lit me on fire, and I bought your sheet music, and they come to the website or whatever. We get comments from parents that say, man, you lit our kids on fire, or our kids are begging to take cello lessons or piano lessons. We get a lot of comments from complaints actually from orchestra teachers that say, our cello section, we don't have enough cellos for all the kids that want to play the cello. So we really get this sense that people are still playing, and that also we're helping to start a real instrumental movement of sorts. I mean, I hate to sound like lame to say that, but that's just the sense we're getting. We feel, we have 300 million views on our video, so we feel like, with these videos, it really is getting the interest out there.
I love what you do and how you do it. I mean, if I could be anybody in the world, I'd love to be Billy Joel, because I just think it's the coolest thing in the world to be able to just sit down by yourself and entertain an audience. And that's the gift you've got, isn't it? You don't actually need anything more than just you and your fingers.
It's really fun, and Billy Joel's a hero of mine as well.
Incredible. Where do we go from here then? I mean, you've got the videos on YouTube. People can find you there. The new album's out now. A big tour plan, because I could imagine this could really work in an arena, because, as I say, with a huge PA system and the cellos and the pianos and all the other guys on drums.
Like I say, Sony Records has been amazing. They've helped us arrange, and our tour our manager, he's an industry mogul, and they've been able to get us touring. We just completed a Europe tour with sold-out shows. We were in Turkey, Moscow, Milan. We ended up in England, here in the UK, and it's incredible. Last night in Manchester, we had one of the most magical experiences. I've been doing concerts for 20 plus years, and last night will go down as one of the top 10. I mean, it was just amazing.
What is that alchemy when it works better some nights than others then? What was it last night that made it so special?
The hall was just beautiful. It was this 2,400 seat hall, but everybody felt just close to us. And, in the front 10 rows seemed to be just rabid fans. So we felt this just enormous energy just right next to us, and just felt surrounded. And, just everything just feeds off each other, and it just becomes this amazing experience.
I suppose here in the UK, the big thing that broke you through was the Thompson Holidays TV ad. They used Simon and the Ogre, didn't they? And again, that kind of endorsement can't hurt, because people are then curious. Last Christmas, I don't know whether you know, but we had the John Lewis adverts, which were the most viewed adverts in history in Britain. More interesting than the actual programs that were in between them. People were tuning in to watch adverts. They've become a business in their own right, haven't they?
We've had a lot of people say they found us through the Simon, that Thompson advertisement, for Thompson Holiday. So that's been huge. That's
interesting, isn't it? How you create something new, because let's face it, you're using pianos that were invented quite a few years ago. The cello's a relatively old instrument, but you're making it new, and I suppose that's what's important. You've got to make it cool to get the kids interested.
That's how that's our goal. We love to take old and make it hip, and take hip and throw some old. People are loving it.
Absolutely. Well, I love listening to this CD. You open with Titanium, which, of course, is such a huge hit over here, and you do it so wonderfully. You put it with Pavane, which, again, fits brilliantly. How do you think of that, taking an absolutely modern tune and putting it with something very old and combining it to sound completely original?
When we start with we start and focus on the original tune that we like, and sometimes it just stays true to the original tune. Not all of the tunes have, classical elements, but more often than not, our classical background, Steve and I both have classical training, and the classical background comes through, or, we think of a tune that we have grown to love from the classics, and we think, wow, that fits perfectly. Listen how perfectly that fits here, and whenever that happens, it feels like a real gold mine. But it's amazing. More often than not, we find just a classical gem that just fits perfectly one of these modern tunes that our kids have told us to check out.
I thought your version of 1,000 Years was tremendous, and Bring Him Home is always beautiful. Congratulations on this new album. It's out now. Over the Rainbow's featured on it, The Cello Wars, of course, Moonlight. As I say, 1,000 Years is just beautiful, and What Makes You Beautiful is also on this brand new album by the Piano Guys. It's in your stores now and available on iTunes and places like that. Congratulations, John Schmidt, on coming up with something new and brilliant. Thanks for coming on the show, and I hope to see you live soon. Come to Nottingham, and I'll definitely come and see you, because this is a show worth seeing. I just know it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.